Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. It's Hillary, the marketing mom, live again for the Ready Set Grow show. And as we're talking homeschooling again this Friday, but I'm actually kind of you're gonna hear a couple things weaving in there, and you may think, yeah, that does apply to that person sitting down in the cubicle next to me. You can't force people to learn, right? You can't force people to do anything, and this includes our children. So last night, I saw in one of our homeschooling groups, a mom put a question: been homeschooling for 9 days, feels like 999. How are you moms coping? And the reality is sometimes that feeling comes from us not feeling like we've accomplished much, right? So, quick story. So, we got three little ones, and we're trying to show the youngest a tree, right? Now, we all know how sometimes on pictures and stuff, a tree doesn't look like a tree. And my little one insists it's not a tree, it is a broccoli. And that's how she says it, broccoli. It's not a tree, it's a broccoli. Now, when you look at a piece of broccoli, it kind of looks like a tree that's drawn in a book. So we take her outside and we're like, okay, show us the trees. And she starts pointing at all the trees. Okay. So she knows what a tree is. It's just that the book has it wrong. The book is drawing a broccoli. And it was hilarious to just watch her go over and over again talking about this is not a tree, it's a broccoli, right? So sometimes you can't force them to learn what they don't want to learn. And a lot of the times when it comes to homeschooling, we have this set like program. They've got to do this, this, and this, and this today, and it must be done today. Well, maybe they're not going to learn it today. Maybe they've already learned it and they're just pulling your strings and trying to be naughty, like children usually are. And they're just trying to frustrate the living daylights out of you, which is why they're acting as if they don't know it. But put them in the situation. So, literally, yes, we took her outside. Where are the trees? And she just started pointing, and we've got a lot of trees out there, right? So, and she just started pointing at all the trees. And when you look at the trees outside, we've got palm trees, we've got the five-finger tree, we got, the pui tree. They don't look like what's drawn in a book, all right? What's drawn in a book is really a broccoli. But tying that to something else where you can't force people to learn. You can't force your children to learn. All right. As much as you try to hammer in that math problem, tens and ones and whatever they call them now, tens and units or whatever. No matter how you try to hammer that in, they're going to learn it when they're ready. And one of the things that with homeschooling, thankfully, you can go at the pace of the child. Okay, you don't have to rush through everything this week because the entire class has to be there this time. And tying back to what I said last week, a homeschooling child is neither ahead or behind. A homeschool child is exactly where they're supposed to be. Now, let's tie this into business and the adults now that we work with from time to time. I remember, and I share this story, but we used to have a coworker who just didn't know how to close his mouth when he was eating. And it used to annoy me. And no matter how you try to explain and share and, say certain things, it never changed, right? You can't force people to learn if they don't want to. Okay, so those out there who, maybe you've got something that you want to share with people or whatever the case may be, they're not going to be open to it until they're open to it. Just like the homeschooling kid, they are where they're supposed to be. And you've got to meet them where they're at. You've got to meet people where they're at. So this is a little hybrid of a live for you today. It's going to be short and sweet today because it's Friday and I've got things to go and see about. And plus, we're going to be on the Women's Power Hour tomorrow. So we've got a little planning meeting coming up here. But yeah, definitely. Your child, you can't force your child to learn what it is that you think that they need to learn right now. Okay? 9 out of 10 times, your anxiety and your frustration is because you haven't reached where you think your child should be at. But they're learning, and they're also going to be learning from your frustrations with them. So take a step back, inhale, exhale, and reassess, is this where they need to be at, or is this where I think they should be at? And work with your child, meet them where they're at. Don't force them along, don't pull them along, because it's not gonna end up pretty. As we all know, if you force somebody to do anything, they're going to rebel until there's a big blow up, big fight, and then somebody gets thrown in the naughty corner, and then you go off pouting and doing whatever, right? And you're angry for the rest of the day with your children. That's not what we want. Okay, it's supposed to be a nice, happy home. Okay. At least we try. So that's all I got for you today. It's short and sweet today. Homeschooling, you can't force them to learn. If they say it's a broccoli, it's a broccoli. Go outside and let's see if they know what a tree is. Check mark. We're done with that exercise. Okay. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. And I will see you on Monday. Bye, everybody.